So here we are on board Western Light that we've hired from Herbert Woods at Potter Heigham, and no sooner had the gentleman let me go without a trial run than Sheila's taken over, and initially was feeling extremely nervous, and is now singing along and actually doing quite well.
Right, Rob, you can go home now, please.
Oh, right, okay. Well, it's been nice.
Thanks for your help, mate.
So quite a few viewers of the Captain's Blog have been lamenting the loss of the Captain's Blog. You know, where are you? Back on the Broads on a hire boat. So due to pressure of you avid viewers and followers, here we are on a hire boat. So if owning sort of 4 boats almost, if you count the rib, wasn't enough, here we are for Sheila's birthday weekend on the boat from Herbert Woods, which is a first. I mean, I go with Herbert Woods as part of the Lads Week every year in October, but this is the first time I've ever actually paid money for one of their boats. And my dad and I used to come with the original Captain's Blog on 2011 on Commanding Light. That's where it all started, and I'm going back to basics because all of the holidays I've had since, I've got incredibly crazy with bringing stuff, bringing tools, camera equipment, mounts, action cameras, lights, you name it, boxes and boxes. The clothing would take up, you know, a short little section of the case, and everything else took everything else up. But everything from PMR radios to action cameras to camera mounts is all not with us. It's either on Broad Ambition, it's on Indy, or it's at home, and so we've just literally, Sheila and I have been away in Yorkshire. We were in Whitby, Scarborough, that sort of area. Lovely, even though the weather was a bit misty and drab, we really enjoyed ourselves. We went on the North Yorkshire Moors Railway, and then in our hotel / apartment in Whitby, we decided to randomly book a hire boat with Herbert Woods, and so here we are. And we came back yesterday from Yorkshire on a 6-hour journey because of delays with the trains, and here we are at, what's the time now, 2:38 in the afternoon on Friday the 13th of April on the Broads. So it's been a treat week for Sheila, and this is a treat. She doesn't realise it. She's been a bit, you know, but she didn't want a bathtub. She didn't want something too crazy. We were looking at Zircon emblem from Ferry Marina, which, if you look that up, guys, is one of their sort of premier boats. It just sleeps 2. It's got all the fancy features and everything else. We even looked at the jacuzzi boats from Faircraft Loins, like Fair President, but they were like $1,000 for 3 nights. So Herbert Woods had a deal on for last minute bookings, so we got this, and I think all in, including the damage waiver and the fuel deposit, was about 520 quid. So yeah, I know, honey, I know. Let's just show you what she's just given me the look, because we were looking at sort of, you know, Richardson's for sort of siesta for 259 quid and stuff like this.
I thought it was the same price.
You thought it was
around.
No.
You tricked me.
You needed
again.
a larger shower. You needed 240 volt power. You needed a centre cockpit cruiser.
Oh, I didn't. That was yours. Centre cockpit was yours.
No, and look at you now. You're happy.
Bathroom.
Nice and spacious. So obviously, Herbert Woods is going to be treated to the full Rascal review. And these used to be, all of these boats, this is a 40 foot by 12 foot cruiser. Do you remember Connoisseur? Do you remember the old host? She was like, what? Ooh, hey, where? What?
What? Are you talking to me?
Do you remember Connoisseur?
You're talking to
Regular
me?
Broads lovers going back to the 80s and 90s, you know what I mean. Connoisseur cruisers, Porter and Haylett, Roxham. And remember the old brochures of Ho Seasons? In the forward cabin there was the lady sat there in bed, and they'd show her in the shower with a towel wrapped around her. You don't get features like that in any of the boating brochures. Get ready for 5 mile an hour, please, honey. We're on GPS speedo here, and we have a nice loose throttle cable that does very little and everything at once. We're also noise polluting because although I remember some of these boats had old Perkins, this has got a nanny, an old nanny, a nanny from when nannies were painted navy blue. And here, you don't really hear it. But my God, does anyone following us know about us? Unsilenced, straight out the back, hydraulic drive, fuel guzzling, but it means you can have the engine out back. So yes, these were originally with the connoisseur cruisers, and they have so many sort of innovative features such as the moulded seating that pulls out and adds storage, places to put things here, even over on the helm, if you sit down, a place for your mug of coffee or your pint of beer. They thought of everything then. Very nice off-white gel coat interior. Think about when these were first constructed, and now think about when you see boats like Broadsman, Carousel from Richardson's. Go and have a look at Dominica with Richardson's, the interior photos, and then bring up on the screen Broadsman and see how this hasn't really aged over all of those years, and how pretty groundbreaking it was, and how they tried to speed up production with moulded in steps, the famous not working bin that should be chained up. Well guys, you know what, I've got a screwdriver, I'll repair it for Woods. But it's as it happens, as ever, the boat review has already begun. But they did think of this, it's supposed to just come out to here, but it was somewhere you could put a bin. And then we got your full-size 4-ring cooker and everything else. And also here, the old Bluebird from Ho Seasons, still in place. Lovely stuff here. I've been wanting to give one of these boats a go for a good long while. We haven't got such a large Dometic fridge, we've got a small Waco. The wind's getting up now, we've got a microwave, which is good. As I say, we will do the full review. We've literally only just got on. Sheila's saying this is her preferred cabin because she got the nice large dressing table here. So she's got her dressing cabin and her separate individual shower. These are requirements that I have to cater for with Sheila sometimes. Also, I'd just like to draw attention, guys, to as everything goes off, you know what it's like when you've got the old centre cockpit boats. Weigh the hell everything down, because it's going to go somewhere. This here is the broadcaster, and I'm pleased to report that on page 43, the NBN, the Norfolk Broads Network.com, the forum I keep going on about, look at that. Join the #1 social network dedicated to Broads. They've got an advert. Now, show me a group or a forum that's has grown up to actually have an advert in the broadcaster. So just a little plug for them, why not? So we don't know where we're going today. We don't know how busy it is, but we are being overtaken here by I'm not sure who, but it's a Herbie Woods boat. Aqualight, she says she thinks. So we're going to take it nice and easy. Sheila's just bringing us away from the reeds, but she's doing magnificently.
I know, because he's overtaking anyway.
That's right, don't let him pressure you.
He's pressuring me, people! I don't like him!
Aqualight, the I can't stop adding bits onto boat model, where they added the fly bridge, a side entrance and a patio doored rear well deck. The man with his peanuts and beer while the women do all the packing, I like his style.
Can I go and hit him?
Hit him with the boat by all means, but don't board him and hit him and cause actual bodily harm.
Can I hit meeting with the boat because they're both from Herbert Woods.
They're both from Herbert Woods, and we're
Yes,
hirers.
okay.
We're hirers now. We can go. The man from Herbert Woods just said, if you hit somebody or you get hit, don't worry about it. Just take the registration number and give the office a call. They'll sort it all out for you.
Okay, I'll hit it. N87410. There we go. Okay, I'll go now. Bye.
So we're apparently due some kind of thing called God's light bulb. He hasn't obviously screwed it in properly yet because it's not showing, but apparently we might even get up to 18 degrees over the weekend, so we're looking forward to that. We've got to choose somewhere to go for Sheila's birthday meal on Saturday. Sheila's new shoes are so grippy they're ripping up the floor already.
I know. I'm sorry, Herbert Woods. What am I doing? I keep
What are you
zigzagging.
doing? You keep zigzagging because you're not concentrating.
I am not. I know.
So let's just add some more pressure. There we go.
Exactly. You're putting more pressure on me. Oh, it's my birthday. I shouldn't be pressured like this. Ah.
Now, she's in training for when she brings the girls away.
No, that's gonna go terribly wrong, and they might not even speak to me after that. They might have said, screw you! I'm not talking to you ever again. They will block me on their phone, unfriend me on Facebook, block me on WhatsApp, all this stuff. Just so you know, you can do that if you hate somebody. Anyway, I'm zigzagging. I don't like this boat. I like Trixie because it responds. Okay, there we go. We're straight now. This one, it takes 5 minutes before you know, oh, it's turning left.
So why do you think that is?
Because it's big
No,
and it's heavy.
they're two good things. Big and heavy is good.
The radar is fucked up, maybe.
The radar,
Radar.
the
whatever.
rudder,
Radar,
the
whatever.
rudders. Excuse me.
What?
Did you hear, ladies and gentlemen? She just swore. Well, that's your image has been exposed for what you really are. This
What did I
cute, lovely lady
What?
is so used to swearing it just slips out without her realising.
What did I say?
It's fucked up.
It is though.
Well-
if it's not working,
It is.
what can you say? What else can you say?
Listen,
Buggered?
Buggered? Well, no, that's not very
Broken?
politically- Broken. There we no broken.
Oh, you can say it's not working properly.
Yes.
If you're gonna fonse. Oh, that's my new word.
Right.
Do you want to be fonse on the boat? Okay, speak
So
fonse.
let's just go over this. I've been told that some of the viewers do rather like my how it's done, how you do things videos.
Right.
And the reason why, do you know why they like those?
No.
It's
'Cause they learn something,
It's
maybe?
because the armchair admirals out there, they can comment and tell me how wrong I got it.
All right.
And the average Joe hire boater can say, well, actually, that helped me out and I didn't crash, and thanks, cheers, Rob, for that.
Right.
So I'm going to use you as the guinea pig.
Oh no, please don't.
Oh, right, then I'll use you as the hamster.
It's the same thing.
So let's have a look at what we're doing at the present time.
Well,
Let's
I'm
try
in
and
the
get a
middle.
good. Well, you're in the middle of the river.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just to make sure I don't hit my starboard side.
that's right. So what's your left side?
Port.
That's right. And what's a good way of remembering those?
Yes. Left is 4-letter word. Port is 4-letter word. So they go together.
That's a good way. Or another way is that port, the fortified wine, is red, and port is red as far as your port side navigation light would go.
Well, that's it then.
That's it.
Port, left, and red are all short words. Right, starboard, and green is all long words. So they go on one side, short ones goes on the other. See?
Yeah.
There you go. Nice strip.
So what generally causes zigzagging is where you put too much inputs into the steering and then you don't correct it. So now we've started our turn to port and Sheila hasn't corrected it, and now she has to correct
Oh,
it.
come on, because it's so slow,
Yeah.
mate.
No. And now you're
Look, I'm doing that, right?
Right, now
and
wait.
then I'm waiting.
No.
I put that already.
Now you've put another command in. Okay.
Come on. There
So
you go.
let's just get over to the starboard side of the river. So leave it where it is.
Oh, leave it where
That's it, right? Okay, she's
No, I'm going
responding.
too much.
No, you're not. Okay.
I'm straightening it.
Well, you're doing it naturally, then I don't even have to tell you what to do. Right? Now, don't put any more on. Take some off.
I just did.
That's it. More. More. More to the right. Now you've gone wrong. Now you're going to left again. And that was the zag.
Confusing me.
So now we're going to do a zig. If anybody wondered, that actually was a zag. This is the zig. So the zig is always to the right, because I say so.
No, it
Right.
doesn't.
So let's
You're
go.
making
Let's
up.
do a zig to the right.
No, I'm not. I'm just gonna
You're just going to give
follow
up.
the river, the
We're
curve.
teaching. We're educating, honey.
Wow. I need to teach myself first before I teach other people.
Right. Well, that's what we're doing at the moment, both of us. Then. So take us over to the right.
I'm not. I'm just
You
gonna
are.
do my instinct.
Okay. Just keep it there. Don't take anything off.
I just did.
No. Well, don't.
Don't leave me this way. Oh. Anyway, that music got stuck in my mind. What's the other song?
Do you ever stop? Oh no, sorry, you're a woman.
I do stop. You're the one that keep talking blah 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 like a. I was gonna say the P word, but no.
Right, so we're going over to the right hand side of the river. Okay. Now, right, turn right. Bit more. There we go. Now, left about an inch. And that's it. You just have to put those tiny little inputs, inch to the left, inch to the right. And you'll soon figure out how to maintain a straight course. Now, because the current and the wind will affect that, so you do have to worry. But see how little she's putting into the inputs now? Just very little. And we're still doing a nice straight course. So the minute you start doing sort of several inches to the left, several inches to the right, that's where you start doing your zigzagging. And the way to correct it is to get smaller and smaller inputs of correction, and your zigzagging will become shallower, and then you'll regain control. Okay, so here we are at Ramworth, and we've been quite fortunate in that, as you can see, there's quite a few spaces still left here. A couple of boats have just departed as we came into more. Quite responsive actually, both the steering in reverse and the throttle inputs. I'm impressed. But what I wanted to really draw people's attention to is there's been comments, you know, on groups, forums and stuff about these particular boats, you know, and their noisy engines, and why do people run their engines so much, etc. Well, imagine there's sort of 4 of you, 5 of you, you sat round here, you're having a conversation and so on. Okay, it doesn't sound that bad inside, does it? It's quite a reasonable volume, non-intrusive. Let's go outside, however, and hear what you're doing to your neighbours, because out here it's particularly noticeable. And the reason why this is, as you can see the exhaust here, well, I don't know if I'm able to lift this cover up on its own. No. But there's very little room. Probably couldn't hear me there. There's very little room between the exhaust on the engine, that small silencer, and the exhaust port on the actual boat itself. Again, it's designed in a kind of simplistic way, because by putting the engine out there you have a quiet interior. It's out of the way, you've got this nice low boarding point, nice wide side decks, and of course by doing so as well you cut down, when you're building the boats, on lots of exhaust pipe runs and the hoses, the high temperature hoses, etc. But you see, if they'd put more hose, routed it, you know, snaking around the engine bay and passed it through 2 water locks, you could really quieten down these boats. Because if we just come over here even, it's not just the volume, it's the tone of the exhaust. This really is a boat where, if you're going to run the engine on a mooring, it will annoy your neighbours, even though inside you'll be thinking, what's all the fuss about? We are filming this on the 13th of April, Friday the 13th. So we'll see if anything's going to go wrong. But I have to be honest with you, this is the beginning of the season. Obviously we've just had Easter, which was the first sort of push to get boats ready and hirers out on them enjoying the waters, but we're very much in the early part of the season. We're not into the high season. All of the boats have been out of the water and checked mechanically, you know, the rudders, the prop, underwater gear, touched up here and there. But I have to be honest with you and say that the condition of this and most of the other boats I saw at Herbert Woods aren't the best for the start of year. They just look a bit, dare I say, neglected. In comparison, for example, to Horning Ferry Marina's boats over here. Now I know that that platinum emblem is very good. There's some fans over there obviously watching me. Is a very different costing boat, much more you know, expensive. But when you see some of the cheap and cheerful Richardsons, you know, gold gems, clear gems, they've all had fresh paints on their hulls. Their premium fleet, you know, the Broadsman carousels, all freshly polished and gleaming and shining. It's just a bit of a letdown, because this is their advert. Come on, you know, shout out, look, come and have a holiday with us. And this is again another thing that well, it's not rope, is it really? It's sort of the kind of stuff you'd bale hay bales with. It's very nasty to hold. It hasn't got a lot of strength in it. It frays easily. It soaks in stuff like oil, as we can see over here. And you know, most of the large boat yards don't use this sort of rope anymore. Once upon a time it was what everybody was using, you know, in the higher fleets. But we've now moved on to nice, you know, proper, often navy blue mooring lines. I'm going to come in and turn this engine off, but I just wanted to sort of go through that with you initially. This boat here again has no other access other than that rather narrow and steep stairs in when the canopy's up, and when the canopy's down, that obviously blocks that off, and then you have to use the side entrance here up these steps and out of the canopy or the side of the boat. So, but as again, once you're inside the boat, much more quiet. There's Sheila with her coffee.
Would you like one?
I will in a moment. I think we may have some guests coming over. I've just had a big wave from someone. Oh, they're over there. I think you know who I am.
Is that man?
That man and his daughter, yes. Hello, you're in the blogs. So there we are, as ever when I do these videos. The initial takeover day is always short because, you know, you've got to get to your first mooring, unpack the boat, do what you've got to do, etc, etc. And so we've come obviously from Port Higham to Ramworth. I think we're probably going to be having a Chinese themed oriental dish for our meal tonight, but if not, we'll go in the pub. We might go in the pub. Some ribs. Oh, Sheila's giving me the eye of approval. But it's always good to have some emergency rations on the boat, in case you can't get to a pub to eat out. But anyway, I will do a proper review. I always do the reviews at the end of the holiday, because then I get to know the boat. I get to know all the cubby holes, where to put things away, and I can do a really sort of thorough, unbiased review of the boat. But I like the driving position. I like the way she steers and handles. I like the layout. I don't think it's dated at all, and I'm really pleased that after all these years I finally got to get on one of these boats. So that ends day one of the Captain's Blog. A short day, but nonetheless an enjoyable one as far as we're concerned. So as ever, more as it happens.
Funny how it seems, always some I never mind. Head over heels and top two. Oh, there's the pizza place. What's the other one?
About too much charcoal. Bollocks.
You bollocks, what? Why do you look like a special need? Do you need your nappy changing? Is it full? Come on then, let's go to the toilet and change you. The changing facility.
How much? What?
What?
I don't know.
You're
I've
not
had too
even
much
making
wherry and
sense.
then had brandy as well.
Well, is that a very sensible thing to do?
What the hell's going on there?
It's just a smoke. Someone's just on fire. Someone's on fire, that's all.
Just not our engine to make our heating work.
I wonder what that is though.
What's that? It's the diesel heater.
Is it? Oh, I feel cold having all that drink. I feel like my back's just about to curl. Fancy, fancy. That's my new word, fancy. Instead of fancy. Fancy. Fancy, fancy. And Robin's gonna tell me off because the camera is not level again. Oh well, it's me filming and it's not him, so it's my how do you call that?
It's got the boat keys.
Not really. Have you got the boat keys, or are you that drunk?
I'm not drunk.
What? You can't even remember who got the car keys? Hey, stop it! Nuisance. Get down on it. Come on now. Get down on it. Come on, come on. This is very shaky because I'm cold and my hands are. Ooh. Some people feels like this is a nice summer day or spring day. For me, oh no, this is just one of the days of a winter day. Ooh, 18 degrees, 7 degrees, 12 degrees, still the same. Ooh. Oh. They're in bed, having a rest. Our neighbours. And that's
Right,
Mr.
you
Shepherd.
stay there. We'll wake up the neighbourhood now and I'll put the engine on to start the heating.
I know.
We haven't got the battery capacity to start the heating without the engine on.
Oh well, sorry neighbours, whoever you are. I'm just gonna have to switch on the engine. And this is gonna be very loud. Sorry neighbours. It's very loud. Sorry neighbours. Well, aside from the noise of the engine at the back, it's basically peaceful. I know it's coming from me. That's coming from me, that saying it's a peaceful evening, even though I don't like boating. I don't hate it, I don't love it.
I found out what the red light means.
What?
It's the second alternator for the domestics.
Right.
You have to really rev it to get it to go out. To 8 PM, so we're just 5 minutes behind the bylaw.
Yeah. So we've got 5 minutes to hit the engine and make some power, give some power.